Roughly a year ago to this day, April 24th, 2025. One of the most insane yet mind-boggling, simple yet wonderfully character-driven stories that has some of the most insane plot twists came out. Oh, and Expedition 33, I'm kidding, I like Expedition 33. However, I never expected at the age of 26 I'd be getting back into Kodaka's hellscape upon multiple friends getting into the game, which...
I admit it.
I was a Danganronpa teenager, and I don't know what's worse, admitting that I was heavily into the series during the peaks of its awful fandom culture of 2013, or the fact that I'm closing in my late 20s and I still fuck with the character ideas and concept of Danganronpa and in turn the 100 Line because of this connection. Yeah, whatever. As your certified unk or whatever, I'm here to tell you why you should give the 100 Line a shot and in turn spoil the 100 Line
1! You happy few, you band of brothers, will be molded into the perfect special defense unit.
For whatever reason, Kodaka made it pretty well known that there is in fact a 100 Line 2. Yes, they are the same game. Can we talk about the fact that the first route, which we're mainly talking about in this video, aka the 100 Line 1, is a 30-hour prologue before going, hey, you know that gimmick that you had to use in the first hour of Mr. Sirayahu here drafting you? Well, now it's relevant after having to not use it for 30 hours. I'm serious, Kodaka is actually fucking insane for this game, knowing that he basically started production on it almost immediately after Danganronpa V3, which mind you was in 2016, 2017, and this game came out in 2025. In 8 years? That's genuinely insane. Like, Kodaka, I'm here to promote you. Yes, all the buy my game or I'll be homeless tweets really did help me, but hey, if you watch this, can you get them to make like some Takamaru merch and maybe send me like a Gaku plushie so I can treat it like how the Deltarune community treats the Spamton ones? Oh yeah, since I just mentioned them, I should really talk a little bit more about the cast. This is the most important part of the game to me because yes, as there are 100 endings, though like 9 to like 13 unique plot lines that a lot of them stem off similar ones. Yeah, it's an insane game, and there's different authors for some of these routes, one of which that we're not going to acknowledge, and I do have a feeling this is the reason why we didn't get a win at the Game Awards for narrative, because oh god, dude, I'm sorry, why did you allow that man to write anything for this game? Me personally, I've only gotten roughly about 40% of the game's endings because, god, is it a long game if the concept of it wasn't enough? And I want to talk about two routes that really go hand in hand, aka Route 0 and the 100 Line 2 tentative being second scenario, both written by Kodaka. And in turn, this is your spoiler warning here because I seriously cannot, and I mean I cannot state it enough. If you haven't at least seen the 2 show up on the title screen of your playthrough, aka finishing Route 0, really, come back to this video, or at least I'll give you another warning when we get way more into the spoiler aspects of it, because I seriously cannot doubt if some of the clips of my stream here, which, by the way, I do stream occasionally, so, like, check out a stream or two when it shows me scheduled.
This fish is so cold and refreshing.
Are you eating raw fish?
Hey, I haven't grilled that one yet. It's still frozen.
That's alright.
Yeah, this game made me feel things I didn't expect a fucking prologue to do. And yeah, speaking of which, I'm actually slowly editing a long mega cut of that Route 0 stream, which I have them on screen right here, but I want to give a quick shout out to some of the artists I commissioned for this. But yes, now that that's all out of the way, the 100 Line is very similar to Kodaka's previous works, if you couldn't tell by me bringing up Danganronpa a lot, where, yeah, you have a cast of characters here that, by the way, isn't even the full cast here, that's just insane. Like, I don't know how to put it, but if you've ever played Danganronpa, which I really do feel like you're not going to get the full enjoyment of this game without playing at least one of them, it very much throws you in where it's like, yeah, we're very aware. By the way, did I mention that this game is a tactical tower defense RPG where, unlike how Danganronpa has the trial systems, which, by the way, that is still a concept in some of the routes here, which is wild to say.
I'll puke with you.
You're mainly defending the school here with the undying flames here that you'll learn more about as you go through Route 0, but pretty much if you go to 0, the whole school blows up and everything's done. But speaking of which, the people you're going to be defending this school with as the protagonist Takumi Sumino, which I gotta give a little shout out. I really do like the fact that he's a mix of a lot of Kodaka's previous protagonists, where he's still himself and he's also a fucking loser. But this cast, again, I'm not sorry for bringing up Danganronpa here a lot. I can say it like this. The worst character in the 100 line is, at a bare minimum, more enjoyable than 80% of Danganronpa's cast. Like, if I had to rank them in a Danganronpa setting, the lowest rated character in the 100 line would be at like a B. From the start, you can see similarities of the character archetypes, like Ryoma Hoshi from V3 being reincarnated into Shoma Genzaki here. Ibuki is literally just Darumi Amamiya. She's like one of the best characters. And then this fucker.
Have no fear.
What a
Without the rain,
degenerate
no rain.
putrid.
We'll have a whole section based on him, because yes, if you know a fraction specifically of 2, you know damn well who this person is, and Kodaka was so aware, he had to announce a 2 remake to get away from this fucker taking the spotlight. But, you know, again, we'll give him a spotlight later. And that's just the first third of who you meet in this game, as, like, after about like 25 days pass or so, you meet the other 5 characters in the second to last Defense Academy, which, the fact that it's expendable, yes, every implication about that is correct. Let's get into some of those characters. One of them being a fan favorite, Yugamu, Mr. I Get Off on Murder, but it's consensual, guys, it's consensual. Karara Osuzuki being like the literal love polyamory child of Togami, Genocider Sho, and Miyu Iruma, who probably is up there for the most unhinged character for dialogue. Moko, who is a walk-in wrestling reference that I really like. Nozomi, who I will upfront say she is one of the best developed characters in this game. And then you get the literal incarnation of Shonen Jump teenagers with Kiyoshika Magadori, who, if you thought Tsumugi in V3 was a reference, but you have not seen the shit that this is, like, full-on the verbatim story of Son Goku for her backstory. It's hilarious.
In the end, you'll be naught but a skeleton, terrifying people with your eerie laugh and indecent requests to see young ladies paint.
Alright, so on that note again, let's actually sideline a little back. What is Last Defense Academy? As I mentioned, there is one that's expendable. Well, yes, we are at war with the quote-unquote invaders, which that'll make sense a little later, that they are trying to cause the fall of Last Defense Academy, being the school covered in undying flames with these little goblin beings here, and the commanders who have their own leader being Veshtis, who...
You're all so weak! I am strong!
I want you.
Look, we're not beating around the bush. She's hot as fuck, and on top of that, she's absolutely one of the most unhinged characters that in one route that delves into her. You see how unhinged she is, and you understand her. Yeah, so speaking of understanding her, a fun little note after Route 0 is, by the end of the game, you can finally start understanding the commanders as they're speaking this...
Sorry, I don't speak Italian.
Once you absorb Cryptoglobin, which is the way that you are able to use your weapons in this game, you can understand the characters, and it really makes you start questioning more and more what this war truly is about. And hell, halfway into Route 0, Commander says, fuck it, just take me prisoner, and...
She is such a bad bitch, though.
Oh, Ava, I love you dearly when you're with this cast. Hey, editor here, I'm just letting you guys know, I just finished a route, and, why the fuck is there an ending where Takumi gets her preg? So, back to Route 0 here. A big part of it is you're uncovering a lot of these mysteries and getting info that slowly makes you start piecing things together. As you're completely without a leader within the first week. IDF's #1 soldier Sirai here is, like, dead in Route 0 for majority of it. You'll understand why I call him that once you get into the second scenario and other routes, but you see a lot of the character dynamics, how some of them clash, such as Gaku and Karuha, the Tsukumo twins and Takamaru, which, good lord, one of the highlights of this entire game is just... what the fuck?
I'm sorry to keep you all waiting.
I don't think at any point it's ever established that you would ever expect it, where you start getting annoyed by Shoma, where you're like, oh my god, mister, I'm as useful as goat turds. please, you can fight, but then Mr. Takamaru, I'll kick your ass, but only if you harass women. End up being best friends, and then you just get... Now, I just mentioned him a little bit ago, but I think what also keeps this game so engaging is Sirei himself, because I never expected a war criminal to be this charismatic and funny. Even where he's just killed, like, so quickly. Some of the highlights of Route Zero are just the day announcements, like...
Yeah! With our adrenaline pumped to the max, in the name of the fucking badassery of humanity, let's kill the shit out of these nasty pigs and protect the hell out of our beloved academy!
Yes, you get a full achievement for day 69, but some of the other routes I want to talk about, like when you get to see how vile and barbaric the real enemy is. Yeah, Sirei is kind of a fucked up being, as I mentioned. Nigo's the other leader that you see on there that, Alright, yeah, let's actually get into the real dirt of this game and the major spoilers that I've been hiding at, because there's still a character that is lurking there that I feel like really ties everything together. I cannot emphasize this enough. It took Nagito fucking Komeda coming back into a new game, my damn birthday twin, to distract from the insanity that is Eito Aotsuki.
Hate, 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 hate. Hate them so much! I can't stand it! Ugly, reeking, nasty, repulsive human beings!
This dude is the combination of the insults of Byakuya Togami, Nagito Komeda's insanity, Komeda, whatever, and Kokichi's full bullshitting. He's instantly something that is going to set off Danganronpa red flags of, oh, he's a fan favorite and he is acting way too nice. And his first impression, even from like the CG, you kind of look at him and you're like, there's something about you. When the introductions occur and you finally talk to Eito here, I remember I felt so guilty accusing him of being a wild card when he instantly borderline goes autistic, unhinged rambling, being like, hey, what's your dog's name? What's your parents' star sign? And a moment Takumi is like, hey, this is a little too much. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not used to talking with others. I've been hospitalized from an illness most of my life, and the game makes you feel so bad for even accusing Eito in your brain throughout the entirety of Route Zero up until his reveal. Like, it's so funny that all of the progress in Route Zero that happens in a negative sense is because of him, from Hideko missing and eventually found dead, Sirei found cut up in Miami, Ava the prisoner found dead as well after she runs off, and then right at the end of Route Zero where all this stuff about Nozomi, who is revealed that she snuck into this project as she wasn't fully combatant with Cryptoglobin. It's revealed that people found out that her mother was involved with this, which makes everyone start going negative towards her, and in turn Takumi losing trust in her, and you have no idea why. And then it's eventually revealed because you start thinking, you're like, oh, someone must have been listening from outside. Maybe the no, is he hiding in the locker? That's where you wanted to meet in my room, right? He was hiding in the locker. Oh my god! Under the fucking bed, dude. What is this freak's problem? What makes this such an interesting situation as well is that you're almost going to completely forget about Eita during the last 15 days when all this stuff about the Cryptoglobin goes down, because guess what? Veshness comes in and pulls a fast one on everyone, where even the Tsukumo twins and Kako and Ima, they start realizing a lot of situations that led to shitty outcomes, such as during a barbecue the day after food supply goes bad, the Nozomi secret leaking, that there has to be a traitor for sure that they think is with Veshness leaking it, and a few days beforehand you have Veshness coming up being like, hey, let's have a truce.
Show me your fucking...
Blindsiding the cast, which causes Ima and Nozomi to get killed. Oh yeah, did I mention that in these routes multiple characters die? No, well there's some routes that you're not even going to have characters. Like, sorry to spoil a bit later, but the first choice you really make in this game to determine any route you go on is if you're going to kill Eito or not.
Kill that boy! Kill that boy!
So yeah, there's some routes that just have no Eito at all. Incredible routes. Anyway, side tangent aside, yeah, those two die, and it makes Takumi realize that Nozomi might really be his long-lost best friend Kadoa. But by the way, can we acknowledge this screen? Oh my god! And then on top of that, Kako murdering Veshnis to a bloody pulp. And then the next day, everything just kind of calms down, and they're like, oh, you know what? Let's go check out that room that's been covered by undying flames, where this boy that's been showing up throughout the plot that you couldn't really understand is there, that it's just kind of like a, oh hey guys, I'm gonna help you, this is where I reside, and oh shit, that's a fetus, before Eito finally lets that mask down into the most unhinged fucker I have seen Kodaka write. Because yeah, this dude's been lying the entire time. He's been responsible for everything. Yeah, besides that, and you wanna know why he does it?
I recall the doctor said I have an unexplained cognitive disorder.
Yeah, this guy is one of the wildest fuckers I have seen, because that illness that he happened to mention he was hospitalized for, it's a cognitive disability that makes Eito see humans as vile, disgusting, nauseating creatures, as he says, and I need to give a quick dub shout out here to, and apologies if I mispronounce it, Nazir Aldarazi. Seriously, your performance as Eito in the dub is one of the most insane I have heard in years. Alright, side tangent of the dub aside, we finally get to see more about his childhood, where Eito was someone that constantly studied history to try and learn and love humanity despite his cognitive disability, which—
Need to hit the Pentagon!
Yeah, history is not pro-humanity itself, and the entire reveal as Eito absorbs the undying flame— fuck it, we're not calling him that, name's Shion. Anyways, Eito absorbs Shion's powers, which Eito is probably the most powerful enemy we have faced besides Veshnis at this point, and as the battle starts—
Now I'll show you what I'm truly capable of. The power I've consumed is incredible. My strength and specialist skill have grown immensely. This is the end for you unsightly blights on existence.
I can't get over Pale Dusk being added into this game. Tadaka aside, this is one of the most insane, draws for a band to have a cover song in. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, speaking of which, Tadaka, you— I want to know what your obsession is with Yoruba voice samples, but when you have something that makes me want to shake ass for a war criminal, you've done something right. Regardless, Eito gets defeated. The final 5 days of dread hit, where we learn how these 100 endings work, because as we absorbed Eito's cryptic organ, which had Shion's in it, Takumi can time travel back from when Eito was about to kill Sire into the 100 Line, to where, hey, remember how I mentioned there was choices in this game? Yeah, now they're valid. Now they're valid. As I mentioned before, your first choice you ever get to make is, do you want to kill Eito or not? Which you actually don't want to. Yeah, that's all I have for the— okay, yeah, no, we're actually talking about second scenario, and at least some aspects that truly change everything, because I mentioned it before, but there are a lot of routes where different characters live and survive, and the way to get second scenario is—
2 times 4 is 51!
I'm so fucking sorry, Kiyoshika. Your One Piece references will be missed. And Dotami, God, it sucks no matter what route you choose from this trio of choices, you are dead. Oh yeah, the other 2 choices are either you get that Veshnis route I mentioned that gives her a lot of characterization, or you get a full cult route that has great moments such as—
Takumi, I love you, man. I don't need anybody else. I'm fucking crazy for you. I can't help myself. You gotta listen, man.
God, it hurts.
No.
Oh my god, the fuck. What? Yes, on top of that, later on, there is another choice where you have to let this little fucker live. Gaku, you are so lucky I had to go for the bigoted classist tomato head. You are on thin ice this whole route, dude. Speaking of the dead and alive in this route, there is one character that really does begin to make you question everything. Our quote-unquote favorite war criminal is fully alive, and a lot of the decisions you make, from not killing Eito, bonding more with Shion, to even making him an official member of the defense unit, to finally pursuing Shoma's visions more, it really lays it out for you that neither side of this war is in the right, but especially the special defense unit, because There is a major twist we're about to talk about that, as you understand them, you understand the invaders are not really invaders, more so invaded. As we're not even on Earth, this whole time it's been a lie about that world death shit, it's a fake scam. We're trying to colonize another planet called Futurum, and the commanders are all just defending their homeland from being nuked to extinction. Oh, you thought that was the big twist, that, oh, we're just colonizers? No, we're not even done with that, because you know how, like, V3 had those memory flashlights and all that shit? Yeah, that's here too, but in a far worse way, as your existence is a front. You're not even a real person. You're a fucking clone. So about these visions, it shows up a few times throughout different routes, especially in the first Route 0 here, that Shoma has these weird visions of being in a hospital that, as they're brought up in multiple other routes, Big Sire here was trying to stop as far as to potentially brainwash some of the unit to forget about this in other routes, until humanity itself intervenes and says, hey, the defense unit deserves to know everything they don't know, because he speaks for the will of humanity. But is that a good thing, as besides Nozomi, the whole cast are just artificial clones of Shion made as human weapons to finish off every Futurum resident and colonize the planet? Again, yeah, this game is not shy of what its opinion about war is, especially now in this day and age. And I gotta be real, I was not expecting anything about this being so horrifyingly absurd that the whole cast, including Eito, which, by the way, he's back in this prison cell since he kind of abandoned us, then came back and got caught again. But yeah, everyone just falls into despair and hopelessness. Like, it doesn't subside either. Like, even onto the final days of this game, after they're like, okay, yeah, we're all clones and all, they're still, like, despaired and hopeless. Because at this point, this reveal lets them finally rebel in their own way, as they're not humans fighting for humanity. They're human Futurum hybrids fighting for themselves. And I really love that as a twist, that despite everything being lost and everyone just trying to find themselves mentally, as everything they knew was a lie, by the way, they're still fighting for each other, and now other people such as Shion and some of the Futurum residents that they've seen. That's not even the most insane thing from this, because, again, there's another character we gotta talk about round 2 here, because it is absolutely hilarious before the ending. Yes, we're going round 2 on the Aotsuki train here. Again, at this point, if you were unsure, Eito Aotsuki is like the star of this game. There's a reason he's like the fan favorite, because this self-loathing little shit is having a midlife. Is it like midlife if he's only existed for like 62 days when this is like 60-ish days in the route? He's losing his mind over this whole mindset being wrong. The fact that he was brainwashed into having this cognitive illness that makes him see everyone so
Freaking nasty! Repulsive!
it's understandably going to ruin someone, especially someone this absolutely messed up. So, like, about 10 days later, SDU starts to settle down a bit from this twist. Eito comes up to Takumi and is like, hey, can you go collect some things for me outside the school, which there's nothing else to do at this point since Vashness and the commanders haven't really been attacking, so, like, you decide to go get some of these things, like a lens, sunglasses. Oh my god, he's making us get sunglasses. Yes, the next morning, this bastard is wearing fucking sunglasses inside, which I already knew he was a prick like this, but upon the anger of being used, Eito basically gets bumped into by Takumi, I believe. Granted, memory's a little faded here, and
Your eyes!
Yes, sorry to disturb you. I took them out. I gouged my eyes out. Last night. All on my own.
see, this is the absurd bullshit that makes me love this game even more and more. I think out of any situation in this game besides the cult route with Gaku, I think this is the hardest I've ever laughed in my life at a Kodaka game. Oh, you know, since we're not humans, I guess I can make a deal with everyone, but, you know, since we're all hybrids and this fake disease and the fake news causes me to impact my views. Wait, my views! In order to get rid of that nasty pig shit human view, hey Siri, can we remove my fucking eyeballs? I genuinely cannot emphasize it enough, but what the fuck is wrong with Eito Aotsuki, man? Like, honest to god, the funniest character ever written. Now, I want to give you some info on the ending of this route that ties into the main message of the game without, like, spoiling too much, because I will say it right now. Within the span of 10 days, from laughing my ass off to almost spitting up blood from Ato, I was bawling my eyes out to the point that I had a migraine over the last cutscene of this game. And the final battle, quote-unquote, of second scenario, which... yeah, dude, trust me, you can do this without losing a unit. The final minutes of this, and here's the big spoiler, seeing these innocent Futurum kids displaced by war, scared shitless out of seeing the sole survivor of the SDU before they extend a hand and they both realize that they're both put into this shithole and they can work together to revive this world with Saddam plays. I cannot emphasize it enough. It was like 1 a.m. The moment Saddam started playing, I was just bawling my eyes out. Like, seriously, this is a moment that it's why I emphasize I can't say everything about this game, even in spoilers, because there's moments that just break you in the tears like it did for me, and the fact this is like 2% of the game. For example, let me just tell you some of the concepts that I've seen from routes I haven't even fully finished. There's one based around a full killing game, Danganronpa-esque style. As I mentioned before, there is a cult route where everyone is just so infatuated with Takumi they just want to get into his pants. That led to one of the most yaoi-baited things I've seen Kodaka parade around in promotional stuff. What a fucking prick. A romance route where I'm serious when I say Honest to the God might be one of the funniest routes as well, where you get to watch Superbad with Miss Classism here. And then a whole comedy route.
I'm so damn weak! A real life freak with a nasty reek! Only Trafalgar, here's the piss out leak!
Oh my god! Shut up already! Why do I have to be surrounded by a bunch of clowns? What is this, the circus? Did you all arrive here in the same tiny car?
There is so much about this game that just makes it one of the most ambitious pieces of video games I have seen ever. And the fact that it took almost a full 8 years to release, with now announced confirmed DLC in the future that, based off some of the promotion and photos we've seen of Kodaka and who he's hanging out with, dude, I'm serious when I say, if somehow Yoko Taro is involved with one of these routes, I think that might be the most insane shit I have seen in my life. Kodaka, all in all, if you're watching this is for you, man. I'm serious when I say you have made one of the most insane games I've seen ever. You have perfected your character and story writing with this one, man. One of the few games I can say, if you ever see it on sale, even if it's $5 off, get it. Seriously, get the 100 Line. I'm not promoted by Kodaka here. This is one of the very few games I've ever seen post all these video game rises, all the economy shit, like all that, where I can say this game is worth full price. And if that doesn't convince you, I think this might finally convince you.
Not that it matters, but is this really the end?
An explosion ending? Really? In this day and age?
Well, with this many endings, not all of them are gonna be good. We're actually pretty lucky to see such a horrible ending nowadays. I don't care anymore.
This was the stupidest ending ever.
Hi there, so thanks for watching me ramble, like usual, for almost half an hour about the 100 Line, since it has been a very big obsession over the last few months that I've been playing it through. But, you know, normally I would be talking here like, oh yeah, I'm going to be doing more content like this. Like, obviously next video is going to be One Piece, probably about the characters, getting some stuff going on right now. But what do you mean that, like, hours before my birthday, they confirmed Kagurabachi's getting an anime and Takumi Samino's voice actor is Chihiro? What the f?